This is Jen.
And this is Chris.
And this is Spellbound Adventures. At Spellbound Adventures, we can help you plan your next theme park adventure. So make sure you reach out to us with all your vacation planning needs. Now, in our previous video, we were talking about non-thrill rides at Universal Studios. And this video is part 2 of the non-thrill rides at Islands of Adventure. So, and in that, you said we could start at Hogsmeade.
Well, we did get off the train in the last video, and we are now in Hogsmeade. So, yes, we can start with Hogsmeade.
Hagrid's?
No, I was going to say Forbidden Journey, since Hagrid's is most definitely a roller coaster, and we're talking about things that people can enjoy that are not, well, crazy rides.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so Forbidden Journey is a bench seat ride. And it does have a very wide range of movement, but it is more in the vein of Transformers and MIB and The Simpsons, to be sure.
Yeah. So you're sitting in with 3 other people, so it's a bench that holds 4 seats, and it's got an over-the-shoulder restraint. So like if you've ever watched like a car production line or a video, it's got robot arms that help build the cars. Sorry, can't talk. That's what holds on to the bench of seats. So you're completely encased and very safe.
Yes, and the consequence of this is you have a very wide range of movement. So if you've ever done the Disney ride Soarin', that's at Epcot, one of my personal favorites, there are scenes where you get the same effect, where you're flying through the air. Now, there are times when you're laying flat on your back and you're almost feel like you're upside down, but even someone like myself who really doesn't go for those kinds of rides really enjoys this. Those harnesses hold you in nice and tight and you are super comfortable. So I promise you, it is not as intense as it sounds.
No, it is such an enjoyable ride though. So definitely want to check it out. And so like, as Chris said, he is no lover of roller coasters. He's not even a fan of the Flight of the Hippogriff, which is a very baby roller coaster over in Hogsmeade. But he will chain ride Forbidden Journey over and over again.
That is for sure. I like to take advantage of early park access. Jen will try to get in line for, that ride. Hagrid's. That ride.
Good one.
Whatever. But since everyone is going to either Velocicoaster or Hagrid's, there's nobody in line for Forbidden Journey, so I can ride it usually 3 or 4 times before the locker timeout hits me and I have to go get my stuff out of the locker.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so right outside of Hogsmeade, there are actually 2 different attractions we want to talk about. One is the Velociraptor Encounter, and the other one is the Pteranodon Flyers. I'm saying that right?
Yep.
Pteranodon Flyers.
You got it.
All right, the Velociraptor Encounter is a photo op info event where a cast member talks about the dinos, and either Blue or one of her kids will pop out from behind like the bushes, the reeds while you're there.
Yes, and let's just be honest, the cast members are what make this event. They talk to you, you're standing, and you don't realize what's going on behind you. I'm not going to give anything away, but it is actually a really fun day. And if you're doing the Universal Photo Pass, it's actually one of the stops along the journey. Now, unlike most rides where there's a height limit that you have to be above in order to get on, Pteranodon Flyers is one of those that you have to be under. So definitely not recommending you steal a child, but if you don't have a child that's short enough and young enough, you unfortunately are not going to be able to ride this ride. We've never had an opportunity to be on it. We keep signing up for the Informer event meetup to try and get on it, but it's never happened. Now, that being said, this is a very short ride. It's suspended in the air, so if you're not a fan of heights, this still may not be a ride for you, but it's also less than 45 seconds long, including the loading time. So I wouldn't worry about it. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people try over and over and over to get on this particular ride.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful that one day we'll be able to ride it in one of the Orlando Informer meetup events. That's like my goal. This way I can say, I got to go on it. All right, so our next ride that we want to talk about is Kong. Okay, so this ride is the same bus style ride as Fast and the Furious. You're sitting in a wide open bench and you're around like 5 or 6 other people. And this one does move around quite a bit during like the climax of the story, like towards the end. So if you have like any major back issues, this ride may be uncomfortable for you, but it's really not bad.
Yeah, so this one does move around quite a bit, and because it's a wide open bench seat, there's not really a lot to hold on to.
That's true.
So I judge how my back's feeling whether or not I go on this particular ride. Now, there's a catch to this ride. There are a couple different bus drivers. It looks like there's a bus driver sitting in the seat, but the whole thing is controlled by computer, right? And there are also 2 different paths that it can follow depending on what bus driver you have. So the most common one is the one with the female voice, and what will happen is you will leave the station and you will go right into the cave system. If it's the other voice, what will happen is you'll actually go outside, and then you'll see this huge set of doors that are probably a couple stories tall that you will go through, and then you'll end up in the same spot. It's a slightly different story, and again, back towards the high point of the story, action is taking place on both sides of the screen, and it's different. So you may have to ride this ride multiple times in order to get the full storyline to it. However, you're just not going to know what bus driver you're going to get in advance. It's kind of random.
Yeah, very random. So after Kong, we're going to talk about pretty much the next venture on our list would be require some planning before you leave the hotel, and that is Bilge Water Barge. I have to say that very slowly. Can you say it 5 times fast?
Can I say it 5 times fast? How about no?
Bilge Water Barge. Bilge Water Barge. I have to really think about it. So we cannot stress enough how wet you will get on this ride. You can put on a poncho. It doesn't matter. You're still going to get soaked. So think about like those carnival dunk tanks where you fall into the water. And okay, you're not falling into water, but water is literally being poured on you. So prepare for that. Wear things you don't mind being wet, walking around in. Wear flip-flops. Don't wear your good $200 pair of sneakers.
Seriously, no. We have some items that we've saved on an Amazon, sort of like shopping list, so to speak. We'll put those in the description for some recommendations like water shoes and things like that. But it is sadistically entertaining to watch people come off that ride fully dressed in regular clothing, thinking, "Oh, I might get a little wet." No. You go up against walls and water splashes over the side, and it's equivalent of doing the ice bucket challenge multiple times through the event. So you are going to get wet. Now, it is significantly more so than River Adventure or even Ripsaw Falls. So if you've done those rides and you know about how wet you get, this is more so. So make sure you plan ahead and wear something that you don't mind getting wet and you're going to be comfortable walking around in while it is wet.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next on the list?
I would say what's next is we're going to head over into Superhero Island, and you've got Spider-Man and you have Storm Force Acceleration. Now, a Spider-Man, it's very similar to Transformers. It uses that same type of car ride system. We love this ride. There are a lot of Easter eggs for the fans that are in the queue. We don't want to spoil any of them for you, but make sure you look everywhere, even from the ceiling in some of the rooms. And also, you want to make sure that if you do the regular line, if you can, do the express line too, if you have that opportunity, because you go through a different part of the queue.
Yes, so I will tell you this takes place in New York City, in the newspaper where Peter Parker works. And as Jen's saying, you get to walk through 2 totally different sections. They actually took the time it's almost like you're walking through the back rooms of the newspaper.
Yeah.
So totally cool, totally worth the effort.
Yeah. So
Storm Force Acceleration is, how do you describe that? It's kind of like a teacup ride.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody with a lot of upper body strength.
That's what you need.
Oh my gosh. We got on this ride because it was a teacup ride, and we wanted to say we had done all the rides at Universal. And I don't think we stopped laughing until we were well off the ride. We got that thing spinning so fast, and I mean, we were falling all over the place because of centrifugal force, and oh my gosh.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And usually, in all honesty, it's one of those rides that's been there for a long time, so there's really not much of a wait time, maybe 10 minutes tops, 15 if it's a busy day. So it's a great ride if you want something to do really easy and really fast. Go on it, have a good time, and everybody can go on it with you.
Yeah. So from here, we're gonna probably head over to Seuss Landing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like right. So there's a lot to do over in Seuss Landing. Obviously, it's geared towards little kids, understandably. So we do have a few major rides. We have Red Fish, Blue Fish, One Fish, Two Fish. Another one, say that 5 times fast. Who names these rides, people?
I don't know. We call it, for example, we call it Hagrid's, but I think it's like Hagrid's Motorbike Creature Adventure or something like that.
Like, these names are so long. So anyway, Red Fish, Blue Fish, One Fish, Two Fish. It's a kiddie ride like Twirl and Hurl over in Simpsons Land. So it's nothing major. You go up, you go down, you gently go around. It's a good ride.
There's a little chance to get wet because they do have some fish spitting water, but then we've got the carousel.
Yep.
Which is
The carousel.
You can take it or leave it, in my opinion.
I've never been on it before, but I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
The next is the Cat in the Hat, which it's a very slow moving car, and you're going through the book of the Cat in the Hat. But I will say, it is a really cute ride. I really actually liked it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever read the book, you know what to expect here. But we did it a couple times just because it was so
It was fun.
unique. Now, the next one has a very important caveat to it. Do it at night.
Yeah.
You can do it during the day. It's the Sky Car ride. It's a little train that rides basically through the second level of Universal Studios almost, above most of the other rides in Seuss Landing. And you get a great view of the park. But seriously, if you do it at night, it is absolutely amazing. You'll see in some of our videos that we do for shorts, we'll have some nighttime shots where we're moving around what looks like an elevated platform. That is the train. You get some beautiful views. And if you do it after 6:30, that's after 6:30 during the winter months. It's probably after 8 o'clock in the evening, in the evenings, when they're doing the fireworks for Hogwarts Castle. You get a really crazy view there too. It's gorgeous.
It is. It's really beautiful. All right. So, and then speaking of those shows, so you have Hogwarts Castle, a show that always happens after dark. Now, as Chris was saying, there are no set times right now to the fireworks happening because it kind of depends on how dark it gets and when it gets dark. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. When you're there visiting, you're gonna have to just kind of keep an eye on what the weather seems like.
Well, yeah, so it's one of those things after sunset, but it has to be dark for the laser projectors to shine on the castle. But depending on the time of the year, the show does vary a little bit. And it's 10 minutes between the end of the show and the beginning of the next one. So it's not like it's every 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes from when the last show ended. It resets and then they show it again. And they go until pretty late at night, but because it's fireworks, they have a limit to how late that they can show that. And the next show over there is what?
So then we have Poseidon's Adventure. So Poseidon's Adventure isn't a ride, it really is a show, and you kind of can't tell that from the front. And this is a show where you actually walk through different rooms and you're trying to escape from.
No, don't spoil it for people. They gotta experience this for themselves. It is very weird. Now, it is important to mention there are times where you'll be in complete darkness.
Yes.
Now, the lights are turned off. It's part of the show, and you do move from room to room to room. But you are surrounded by a fair number of people, and it will be pitch black with no light for short periods of time. Now, if that makes you uncomfortable, this is probably not the ride for you, especially if you get bad cases of claustrophobia. Other than that, it's worth doing at least once.
Yep, it is fun. We did it once. I don't know if we'll do it again. We might. I don't know.
Yeah, so honestly, I think that kind of covers it for non-crazy thrill rides for Islands of Adventure. I mean, there are some things that we didn't mention and kind of little Easter eggs like the talking fountain and things like that, but we don't want to give away all the surprises.
No, you guys have got to go check it out for yourself, along with Universal Studios. I'm losing my mind here, people. I'm trying to remember things.
Absolutely. So honestly, I think that kind of does it for this list. We have one more coming out, so hit that bell notification so you'll be notified when it comes on. We're actually going to be talking about two different areas. We're going to talk about City Walk, which is part of Universal, which seems to be a common theme with us. We definitely love Universal Studios.
We do.
But we're also going to touch on Disney Springs. We made a stop there on our last trip. I'm not going to say any more because we'll cover it all in our next video. But it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, we had a good time. So with that being said, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And stay healthy, stay blessed, and we're going to see you in the parks.